it's Ron here.
And Mina.
Oh my god.
Hi.
Before we start this video, why don't you like just talk to them a little bit?
You always say this, but there's nothing new.
I know that, but like just like, I don't know, like catch us up on your life.
I don't know if you guys know who I am.
Oh my god, it's literally the same thing over. They know who you are.
Okay, I'm here because Rowan asked me to come for this very special video.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, of course, but I don't know what else to say.
Okay, whatever. Alright, so Mina's back for this video because we've literally been wanting to talk, well, I've been really wanting to talk about this, but I knew that I needed her here because
she's only going to talk about one aspect of the movie,
which people want to hear. So I don't even know how to start this discussion.
So first we'll start off by saying we're doing like a review slash conversation about Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker.
There will be spoilers.
Yes, it's spoiler filled, so we're warning you guys now. If you did not see the movie, just click out of this.
Yeah, and
come back
when you watch it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I posted on my story about something that happened.
The whole plot! She literally posted the entire plot. I was like, Rowan, like, it's literally been 3 days. People have not seen it yet. And then she was like, you're right.
Yeah.
And she took it down.
I did take it down. And actually someone did watch it and was like, what? And I was like,
wait, somebody like watched it without having seen the film?
Yeah.
Is that why you took it down, or you took it down because of me?
No, I was gonna take it down, but then literally 2 seconds after, Connie messaged me and she's like,
oh my god.
What? And I was like,
Connie.
oh my god, you didn't watch it yet? She's like, no, I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch it for a while. And I was like, crappity crap.
She was like, if they wanted to see it, they would have seen it by now. I was like, it hasn't even been 1 week. Like, some people have busy lives. Why don't we start by just giving like our initial thoughts of whether we liked the film as a whole or not, like not into specifics yet.
When I went in and I watched it, I actually did like it. But then when I finished it, I'm not gonna talk about the ending. I started reading reviews and then I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
So your opinion is swayed and influenced by other people.
It was influenced by other people. So I came up with my feelings about Kylo and Rey on my own, but like everything else, like about Poe and Finn and all that.
So I enjoyed the movie, like I enjoyed the experience of watching it, but I also like had problems with it. I didn't like it as much as some of the other films. It's definitely not my favorite in the series, and it's not even my favorite in the trilogy. Like, it was fun to watch, but I had a lot of problems with it.
Okay, let's hear your problems.
I feel like we have similar problems.
So let's talk about the first big thing that we find out, which is that Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter.
I didn't have a problem with that plot point. Just, I felt like they gave it away at the very beginning of the film when Kylo was talking to Palpatine and he was like, you don't know like where she comes from or something, and then he starts like evil laughing.
And then he's like, who is she?
Yeah, and then I was like, okay,
but not everybody is as smart as you.
Palpatine was like, you don't know what family she comes from, and then he's like, like, okay, like obviously, like why else would he be evil laughing like that?
True.
I mean, there's still like obvious, like you could still speculate and say, well, she could be related to blah blah blah, but I feel like that was such a dead giveaway. So that's the first thing that I thought was stupid, that they gave it away immediately. They should have done that more subtly, and the reveal should have been better, because I did not think that she was related to him until that moment, which was at the very beginning of the film.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, because Mina's really good at this, is I'm just gonna say thoughts, and then Mina will probably counter argue about it, because every time I bring something up to her, she'll be like, yeah, but
I'm just...
Okay, so about her being Palpatine's granddaughter. Why did she need to be his granddaughter? In The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, we don't know where she comes from, right? And she's like a nobody, and everybody's like, you know what? It's okay for her to be a nobody. She doesn't have to come from like a powerful being or whatever it is. So I feel like JJ, when he did that, he kind of like stripped away like
that aspect of her character.
Like, yeah, like you don't have to come from a lineage of well, he's not amazing, but like powerful being, whatever he is. I don't even know what he is. He's a Sith? Okay, he's a Sith. But Haffa said that he wasn't a Sith at first. He was like an emperor or something.
Okay, so yes, he was the emperor, and he was the emperor.
Okay, but and then he became Sith.
He was a Sith, like, but nobody knew about it.
Oh, okay, it was like...
Did you watch the prequels?
I did watch the prequels, but like I don't remember. Basically what JJ is saying is, in order for you to be a powerful Jedi and have all of these Force powers is if you were born into it.
I was gonna say this until you said that. I was gonna say, like, who else could defeat Palpatine?
Besides
a
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Yeah,
because,
what you said.
Yeah, I said this to you before. I was like, we've only seen, I think, I could be wrong, but we've only seen him and Yoda, like, use the electricity with the Force, and then Rey. So, like, how could anybody defeat him besides her? Like, somebody who comes from his family. So I feel like that was on purpose because nobody else would be able to defeat him.
Why can't a Skywalker defeat him? Why can't Kylo defeat him? I don't understand.
It's not Kylo's movie. You do realize
it is Kylo! The Rise of Skywalker! That's Kylo's movie!
Okay, but as in, like, the trilogy is about
Rey. I understand that.
She is the chosen one of this trilogy, so, like, it wouldn't make sense for it to be, like, building up Rey's character only for Kylo to come in and be like, I'm gonna kill Palpatine and save the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's about her. Like, okay, the title is about him, but she's the
Then they shouldn't have chosen that title. It should have been The Rise of Palpatine.
But he loses in the end. And also, they didn't establish that Palpatine was in the film until we literally watched the film, so it would have been a spoiler. So it's The Rise of Skywalker because Kylo does become light in the end, so he rose, whatever. And no, she adopts herself as a Skywalker, bro.
Which, again, I do not agree with. I'm sorry. Like, that was ridiculous. Because, again, that woman at the end, when she's like, who are you? And she says Rey, and then, like, Rey who or whatever. She was like, Skywalker. Why do you need to come from somewhere?
It's not that she needs to come from somewhere, but I think she feels like the Skywalkers were her family. She considers herself a Skywalker because she was basically raised by Skywalkers. It's like her adopted lineage, you know, like she feels like they foster parented her, so she, like, is proud to be a part of them. So Rise of Skywalker has multiple meanings. It's not just Kylo, it's also her. She's technically, well, not technically, she considers herself a Skywalker.
This Rey in The Rise of Skywalker, she's not the Rey from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It was like a completely different Rey.
Because she learns her true identity, and obviously that's going to change her. I think, like, this reveal should have been established earlier, so we could have seen her struggle with this throughout the movies, and then in the third movie she could have, like, separated herself from the Palpatine name. She should have, like, became a little bit,
I agree,
not dark, but, like, have, like, these conflicting feelings because she knew about it. So I think they rushed through it and put it all in the third movie, and, like, obviously she's not gonna be the same person because she knows where she comes from. Like, you know, I feel like if you find out that you're a Palpatine, you're gonna be like, shit, I'm evil. I understand why she's a different Rey in this movie.
I don't agree with this Rey.
Okay, well, that's who she is. She's a freaking Palpatine.
It's not even the fact that she's a Palpatine, just the way that she handled certain things. I feel like it wasn't her. Anyway, okay, let's not get into that yet.
Okay.
I feel like we should talk about that, like, Rey and Kylo, like, at the end, because it's just gonna go on forever. What did you think about, like, the other plots that were going on? Like, for example, with Finn.
Okay, Finn and the other girl.
Yeah.
They just introduced her because they're gonna do a spin-off movie. Like,
Yeah, which
that's
is
my
literally
opinion, which is gonna happen. Which, whatever, is fine, but I would rather them not even just, like, introduce her in this movie, just make a separate movie about her. But I guess people are gonna be like, where did she come from? So, whatever. Yeah.
Where did she come from?
Well, part of that,
I know,
that world.
Which, again, it kind of, like, negates the whole Finn, like, rebelling against the First Order, because we thought that he was, like, the first stormtrooper, right? To feel like that, and now it's like a whole group of them.
I feel like it makes sense though, like, would he really be the only one who felt that way? Some of them were taken as children and brainwashed, so
True.
I feel like it would make sense that he's not the only one who felt that way, we just only knew of him.
But, like, the whole time where he's like, I feel like I know what you're going through, like, to Rey or, like, to Poe, he's like, I know what she's going through, or, like, I feel this, and I feel it's just a feeling, and I'm just like,
Fatima
okay.
got mad, I found him up. I told you Fatima. Rawan got mad, she was like, is he a Jedi now? I was like, no, like, other people, am I wrong, guys? Like, other people have the Force in them, but, like, to a different degree. So, like, you could have the Force and not be a Jedi and not have, like, mind control powers, or you can't wield a lightsaber or whatever, but...
Okay, so I didn't know that. I thought if you had the Force, you were to train to be a Jedi.
Well, Okay, so I'm getting this from the fact that Obi-Wan was like, the Force lives in all of us. And like, I'm pretty sure somebody else said like, that everybody has it but to different degrees.
But like, literally, Finn's character the whole entire movie was him just screaming things. Rey! Chewie!
I'm sorry, but I was really disappointed in like, his love story.
Oh,
because
yeah, let's
he
talk
was in
about
love
that.
with Rey for 3 movies and nothing
Wait,
came
Rey?
He was in love with Rey. Are you joking me?
Wait, he was in love. Okay, he was in love with Rey in The Force Awakens, but then they brought Rose in the last Jedi. Which, by the way, Rose.
He didn't love her. Remember, he like did some weird. When she kissed him, he was kind of like. We were all like, what? Like yeah, that wasn't a true.
So he's in love with Rey?
Bro, the whole movie he was like, I need to tell you something. I need to tell you something. And then Poe's like, what did you need to tell her?
I thought it was because of the Force.
No.
Yes.
He was trying to tell her that every time she was about to die, he was like, I need to tell you something. He was in love with her.
Whoa, this is news to me.
Are you kidding me? And like every action that he did was like trying to save her. Like he was like, we have to go after her. We have to help her. We have to save her. Rey, whatever, all that. He loves her.
Oh, okay.
Of course she wouldn't notice because all she can think about is Kylo. Like,
I mean, am I wrong?
It's like the good guy, Finn, and then the toxic guy, and then of course she goes towards the toxic guy.
I really thought that he wanted to tell her about that he has Force powers.
Guys, you can let me know, but I'm pretty
please,
sure.
Yeah, please let us know.
My fiance was like, poor Finn, like she basically like dubbed him. I was like, I know. I was like disappointed with that storyline. Like, don't make him in love with her
if you're not gonna do anything with it, or you're not gonna address it.
Yeah, you're not gonna address it. It's just gonna like be nothing. Like he's just gonna love her forever now, or are they gonna get together now that whatever?
No, absolutely not.
Oh
absolutely
God.
not.
I guess this movie got rid of the Poe and Finn.
Yeah, because Poe apparently is
Poe
like
is with some or
a hoe.
What? He's not a hoe.
Yes, that's basically what this whole movie was saying.
Like the situation was only with one woman, that one girl.
Yeah, which again,
random.
Which was again, I didn't really understand what that was.
Unnecessary in my opinion.
It was.
But I feel like it was a way for them to say Poe and Finn are not in love with each other. Like that was their way of addressing it. I was like, cool.
Can we mention how Rose was literally just like brushed aside?
Yeah, I don't know why her character was even introduced in the last movie.
Aren't you coming? I have to study. Like Leia wants me to study, and that was it. That
like,
was
then don't even put her in this movie.
Yeah,
like, just don't even show her.
Yeah, that didn't even make any sense. How did you think Carrie Fisher's
CGI
role was handled in this movie? Like, did you think they did it right, or?
Yeah, I guess I mean I thought it was fine.
They did the best that they could, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
what else could they do?
What?
You were like, why did nobody come when Leia was like asking for help?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Can we talk about this for a second? So Leia, the freaking princess, okay, is asking...
General now.
The general is asking for help, and literally nobody shows up. And then Lando comes, this like macho man, and the whole world just like decides to help them. Like, I still don't agree with that. That's like saying like, when a woman asks for help, no. But when a man asks, yeah, we gotta do what the man says. So I'm just like, I don't get that.
My reasoning for why they listened to Lando was that Leia didn't actually go out there and like ask people. She was just like kind of broadcasting, versus Lando, who actually went with Chewie to the other planets to bring the people. So I feel like they responded better to that. Mm-hmm. And I also said that like Leia's kind of been in hiding for so long, like she probably doesn't have as much of a presence or like a relationship with people in other galaxies at the moment, but Lando has been kind of out and about. Maybe he's formed some like stronger bonds, stronger relationships, so maybe they would have been more inclined to like join if he's out.
I read things online.
Oh,
like
so you
Tumblr.
just read that online?
I did read it, and again, like you don't think about this when you're watching it, so like I like that other people can like point this out to me, because I'd be like, oh, okay, that does make a lot of sense. Why did that happen that way? Okay, so let's talk about this.
Kylo dies.
Okay, wait. Before we get to the Kylo dying part, we did not think that the 3 movies were very cohesive in like events that happened. It didn't make sense how Rey and Kylo kept like fighting. Well, first of all, Kylo didn't want to fight her. It was Rey really that was like always like yelling at him and like fighting with him or whatever. That doesn't make any sense because in The Last Jedi, when they spoke to each other, like it started off with her calling him a murderous snake, but then like it progressed where she's like, okay, I understand him now, like where he's coming from, and yes, she didn't take his hand. Why all of a sudden are they fighting again? Like, I felt like the way
in the end, it wasn't. She was accepting of him because she thought that he was going to become light. Remember, she was like, "I've seen your future. Like, you're gonna become light."
Yeah.
And then when he joined forces with her and they were fighting together in the last movie, like she had hope, and then he completely like crushed that by saying like, "We can rule the galaxy together." And basically she was like, okay, no, like that's not what I meant. So she's back to like hating him because that's not what she wanted in him. So I feel like I can understand why she's upset at him because he's still dark and she's obviously not trying to join him.
But then he like tells her, he's like, let's defeat him together. Let's go defeat Palpatine together. And still, she's like, no.
For what reason though? He said the same thing. He was like, let's defeat him together. We can take the throne together. She doesn't want that. Like, she doesn't want ultimate power. She doesn't believe that there should be one ruler. Like, the resistance is fighting against that type of, like, governmental system.
Okay.
So she's not going to join him and become a ruler with him because that's not what she believes in. So obviously she still thinks that he's dark because he goes against what she believes in. So he's still, he was still dark up until it was like a different, I guess, kind of dark, but like wanting all that power, like that's still pretty dark. Like that's a dark side of the Force mentality.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Again, this is what I mean. Like I always like spew things out and she's like, wait,
because
rein it in,
you're
rein
just
it in.
coming from like one perspective where it's like,
I get it.
It's like you're blinded by love. Like, you need to think about other situations.
So Force healing is used a lot in this movie, which I don't know. I feel like
this is how I felt about the Force bond. Like, you probably felt like, where did this Force healing come from? I felt about
No, it's not about the Force healing, where did it come from, because I know that Jedi can do this. But like I feel like it was abused. Like, what the hell? Like, why did they do it so many times? So Rey did it for Kylo when she literally kills him. Like, he's literally dying, which, by the way, again, which I don't understand because he didn't disappear then. But then he disappeared at the end, so like that also does not make any sense. Like, please clarify that for me if you can.
What do you mean? I'm
like,
confused.
When she killed him, when they were on the ship outside in the rain or whatever it was, he was like still breathing, right? And he was like about to die, and then she heals him because she feels Leia, right?
Okay, but he didn't die, like at the end, he didn't die from like that type of wound, right? Like, she was able to heal that type of wound where it's like, he got stabbed or whatever, but he didn't die because of that. He died because he sacrificed his life for her. Like, he gave up his energy. So I don't think she can heal that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's...
Okay.
Like, when you're the same thing happened to Leia. Like, when she sacrificed herself for Kylo or whatever, or, yeah, to, like, project herself to Kylo, like, I don't think you can come back from that. Like, once you give yourself up to the Force, like, that's it. Like, Luke, same thing. So I feel like that's what he did in the end, so...
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Alright, because like,
I didn't... I don't even...
It's a different kind of death?
We don't even know if, like...
He's gone?
No. Oh my god. You can't even speak to her. He's gone. There's still hope. Kylo's out there, like... I was gonna say, we don't even know if when she stabbed him with the lightsaber, he was technically dead yet.
Like, he was gonna die.
Yeah, he was probably going to die, but she, like, healed him before he died.
Okay.
So I think that also comes into play with that situation.
And then, obviously, we see the scene with Han and
well, we
Ben.
skipped, okay, but Leia, the
Leia, sorry,
yes. No.
What?
I was mad at that
Like, they didn't have closure?
Okay, but not necessarily that they didn't have closure, but it's like, I was telling you this on the phone, I felt like it was so rushed.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh my god, like, if we knew Kylo was evil since The Force Awakens, why didn't, like, Leia do this earlier and, like, come to him and, like, whatever. And I know she was trying to communicate with him before and he wasn't listening, but why all of a sudden in this moment, like, did she decide, I'm gonna give myself up to the Force so he can feel it and become light now because of that?
Okay.
And then, like, it just seemed, like, so random at that
Like
moment.
it was like an easy fix.
It felt like very like convenient. It was like super convenient. It's like, okay, like let's just throw it in now. She's gonna die and he's gonna turn light in this moment. Because like if you think about it, like what really did she do? Like she gave herself up to the Force, so that's the reason why he turned light.
Yeah.
Like did she say like I accept you now? Like what was, I don't even remember.
I don't even know. No, Maz was saying something like Leia knows what she has to do now or something. I don't even know. We have to watch it again to kind of understand what exactly is that happened at that moment.
Yeah. But I just feel like that could have been done in the second movie, and it could have been the third movie, him trying to redeem himself and be like why he's light. Right? It doesn't make sense that he just turned light in that last movie, but I guess because of the different directors, they were on different pages, which is stupid, but
yeah,
like the story suffered because of it. That to me was just such a convenient fix, which brings us to his death.
Right.
Because now I feel like you disagree with his death, but I agree with his death because I feel like that is the only thing that redeems him in the end. Like
because he gives himself up for Rey.
Well, okay. Not necessarily that. Like he sacrifices himself for someone, and like he's
for
dead.
Rey.
Whatever.
What do you mean whatever? It was Rey he sacrificed himself for.
Yes, it was Rey that he sacrificed, but I'm not saying like.
Are you saying that has nothing to do with why he was redeemed?
I'm saying like he was redeemed because
he gave his life up.
He gave his life up to save somebody else, like whether it be
like that was selfless.
Yes, it was Rey, but I'm saying if it was any other character, like that would also like redeem him as well. Is what I'm trying to say. If he were to have lived, like there would have been no consequences for his actions. I would have been unhappy with that if he just like lived and like was light. Like that's it. Like he did so many bad things, and now all of a sudden because he decides that he wants to be light and he wants to fight like with the resistance, that's it. Nobody cares about everything that he's done. So I feel like his death was like justified in my opinion.
Yeah, but clearly nobody gives a shit because, okay, let's talk about this. So the end scene, I just skipped over Han, by the way. Do you want to go back to him? Like, do you want to talk about like how he was in the movie?
I'm still mad that Kylo killed Han. Like, I'm still upset over that situation.
Can I actually...
Snoke manipulated.
Hold on. Did he really kill Han though? Because...
Don't tell me Han went with the Force.
No!
I was gonna say him too, but everybody was just like...
You have to watch the scene, but she said when it's happening and he's like, I don't know if I have the strength to do it. And then, whatever, the lightsaber goes through Han. What if Han is the one that did it because he knew that Kylo wouldn't be able to do it?
Okay, now you're getting into Snape and Draco.
Okay, what?
Because that's literally the plot point of Harry Potter where it's like, Snape was
apparently
Dumbledore because I knew that Draco wouldn't be able to do
it. They've been using Harry Potter things because he literally sucked the life out of, you know, Palpatine sucked the life out of Harry and Ron. Out of Kylo and Rey, so whatever.
Harry and Ron.
What I'm trying to say is that some people say that it wasn't Kylo that killed his dad, because I know a lot of people that I have spoken to are like, how can you forgive him? He killed his father. And it's like, what if he didn't kill his father?
Okay, but then they would have explained that at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have...
They don't explain anything. Like,
I feel like if that were the... Like, you can speculate on that and write fan fiction on that, but if it's not stated, like, at this point, it's shown that he kills his dad. So, like, what, we're just supposed to, like, make up theories that don't exist?
Okay, but his dad effing forgave him for it, and you guys are still on it. Like, Kylo killed his dad, and I'm like...
okay, I'm still upset over that, but I told you, at the end, his death to me redeems him. So now I don't think of him as an evil person. If he freaking lived, I would have been like, no, like, that's not okay. You killed millions of people, including your dad, and, like, you're just gonna become light and everybody's happy with it? No.
Okay.
So I agree with his death. I know you're probably like, how could you agree with that?
Okay, so first of all, when I watched this film, I actually went in knowing he was gonna die. I knew he was gonna die. I knew that Rey and him kissed. So I had gotten that like, oh my god, they kissed, you know? Even knowing that, watching it on screen was so hard for me to see because, again, Kylo has, like, I love him. I literally love him. Like, he's such an important character to me. And, like, I've been following him since The Force Awakens. Like, you guys already know this. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you know, like, I'm a freaking crazy person when it comes to Kylo. Watching that happen and then, like, okay, let's talk about when he comes up. So Rey is dead, right? She killed Palpatine. he sees her. Like, did you notice, first of all, Adam Driver, like, Adam Driver, you are amazing, because did you notice that he doesn't say anything as Ben? He doesn't say anything, like, when he becomes Ben. So, like, he goes from Kylo
when
to
he
Ben.
turns light, he doesn't speak.
Right. He doesn't say one word, which I don't understand why, but whatever. Even
I mean, they were kind of in battle. Like, I don't think there's really time to be like, Rey, I love.
I really wish you could have spoken or said something, but whatever. And then, like, when he picks her up, you can see the anguish in his face, and he literally knows, like, okay, I'm going to have to give myself up to bring her back. Like, how do you not get moved by that? I don't know.
I didn't say I wasn't moved by it.
I'm sorry.
Why are you mad?
I'm like reliving it. Okay, so I know we got the kiss, and I was happy about it.
Yeah, I literally called her. I was like, "You're happy, aren't you?"
But like,
no.
But I still feel like it was kind of JJ's way of saying like, "Okay, Reylos, here's your kiss," and then it's like, "But sorry, they don't end up together," and then he dies. So like, it's like an FU to JJ. Honestly, it's like an FU to us. I feel.
Bro, he cannot live. Like, he can't.
Why? I don't understand.
He would go into hiding, and like, I would not have considered him redeemed.
So he has to die, like he had to? Like that was
That's what
the
I
only
think.
solution?
Well, okay, then they would have to make an entire another trilogy called Kylo Redeems Himself, and it's just literally a trilogy of him doing acts of charity. Like that. That's what it would have to be.
Let him do acts of charity. I don't understand. Like, he didn't
It's
deserve
the end
that.
of the trilogy. Like, they're not gonna continue it on. So that's their like solution to ending it. Like, what else are they gonna do?
Okay. Okay, fine. Alright, so I accept the death. We accepted Kylo's death because he redeemed himself.
But we can't accept that nobody mourned for Kylo.
Yes!
You mean just Rey or everybody?
Not everybody.
Okay,
I'm talking
okay.
about Rey. Hold on. I need to read you something because I found something online. I wanted to post it, but nobody
Saw the movie.
Nobody saw the movie, so I couldn't. It's not even that they killed him. It's how they killed him. There was no closure, no reaction from anyone, no one to mourn him. He just falls over, disappears, and that's the end of his story. That's the part that hurts. Also, you're telling me that the girl who went absolutely feral on Luke Skywalker after finding out what he did to Ben in The Last Jedi is supposed to be the same girl who didn't even react after Ben literally died in her arms? Can you please explain that to me?
Why are you
No, because
how am I supposed to explain this to you? I don't know.
like, why? What was the point of that? And then I'm sorry, when she's freaking in the sand and she's like sliding like, whoopee! I'm like, what? Rey, how can you do this?
We also talked about this. We both don't think that Rey loved Kylo.
Okay.
I don't think that she loved him the same way that he had feelings for her.
I do agree with that.
I think
and I am a
that
REYLO,
she-
so I do agree with that.
Like, half of your ship is not even mutual. Like, but I think she gave him the kiss in the end because he was dying and she knew like how he felt about her, so it was kind of just like giving it to him so that he would have something before he died. Like that's what it felt like to me. So, I mean, it doesn't excuse like not talking about him or like, you know, saying any, like, bring, you know, and
yeah, nobody
you know, like,
literally knows that he's the one. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to know to justify it.
They wouldn't like be. They
wouldn't have been happy.
They wouldn't even believe her at this point. They would have been like, Kylo, yeah, sure, like, but
that's disgusting to me. Like, I'm sorry, that is absolutely disgusting. Like, he's literally saved your life. You literally like had, I don't know, her, like, she looked upset for like maybe 2 seconds in the scene, and then she goes back and is crying and like hugging everybody else. She had more of a reaction when Chewie died than when Kylo died.
I had a reaction when Chewie died, but I didn't cry when Kylo died.
Okay.
Does that make me a bad person?
That doesn't make you a bad
Even though
person.
Chewie didn't die, in case you're...
Oh yeah, Chewie didn't die.
But I was
just
literally
saying,
like crying. I was
but
like,
there was more of a reaction for Chewie than for Kylo.
Okay, because that's like saying like you have a reaction to like somebody close to you dying versus somebody who you're not as close to. Like, of course she's gonna have more of a reaction for Chewie. Like, she spent years with him, like, fighting the freaking First Order versus like Kylo.
This is why I don't like Rey anymore. I'm sorry. They ruined her for me. They literally ruined her character for me because you're right. Like, she wasn't close to him. He literally like loved her from afar, gave his life for her, and still it wasn't enough for her. So Rey is dead to me. I'm sorry. She's dead to me.
You can't force somebody to love somebody else,
I'm not forcing, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
she shouldn't
have
so
freaking tragic.
She shouldn't have kissed him because, like,
yeah, she shouldn't have.
To me, there's gonna be people that are like, she loved him, she kissed him, but it's like, no.
His reaction after she kissed him too is like, oh, that hurts. I'm sorry, that hurts. Like that smile, and then it's like gone. And in that moment, he felt loved, even though she didn't love him. Or maybe she loved, I don't know what she felt about him.
Maybe not like love.
Like romantic
yeah, but
love.
maybe like she felt
like, yay, we did it or something. I don't know.
like she like loved him for turning good and for like making the right decision and for saving her. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a different kind of love. I don't know. She just expressed it in the wrong way.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts on what happened with Kylo and Rey. Obviously, I do not agree with it. Literally, my phone is like, Ben Solo deserves better because he does.
But does he?
What do you mean? He freaking had to die because that's how he's gonna be redeemed. Like,
okay, so like that's what he deserved. Like, don't go around killing people.
But he was manipulated. Like, honestly, what I need to see right now is I need to see what the F happened during Kylo's childhood. How were Leia and Han towards him? What really happened when Luke was training him? Because I want to know, like, what brought him to that side. Like, I feel like you have to be in such a dark place in your life to want to go to the dark side.
But like, does that excuse you for like, what you do?
It doesn't
like,
excuse you.
You could have a dark past and be a good person. There are so many, and not even just like in these movies, like there are so many characters and even real people who like experience terrible things in their life, but they don't go off and become like murderers that want like world power. You know?
I know.
So,
I don't know. I still feel like a certain way towards like Han and Leia because it was their son and they just like, I don't know if they did all they could. Maybe they did do all they could and it just didn't work. But seeing them like, and Leia knew that Rey was a Palpatine, correct? Because that's what Luke told Rey.
But we talked about this already.
Okay, but I'm saying like she knew she was a Palpatine. There was like maybe a 5% chance that Rey could have been dark if she had found that out, I guess, before, not now, obviously, because it's too late now, like she's been in the light for so long. But like, so it's okay for you guys to train Rey and, you know, to show Rey all your love, but your own son,
but they did try to train him, and then it was because Luke like went crazy on him that happened. So he was being trained as a Jedi, like that's where he started, and then that whole situation happened.
I feel like if he had someone there though, besides his family, I think his story would have been different. Like, I don't think he would have went to the dark, because I feel like he was just he felt alone. He had nobody. He felt like everyone was like, oh my god, we don't want him to turn into Vader. We have to make sure he doesn't turn into Vader. And like, that's annoying, like hearing that. Like, imagine you were Kylo and you literally heard that, like your parents speaking about that, like, oh, Leia, we gotta make sure our son, you know, doesn't turn evil. Like, I don't know. That could mess someone up. I'm sorry.
They're not gonna make any Kylo.
They're not going
Adam Driver said he's done with Kylo Ren.
But did you notice that Adam Driver hasn't done any publicity for this movie at all? He hasn't said anything.
I don't know, like when I watch like videos of like the cast, people are like, where's Adam Driver? And they're like, he doesn't usually do publicity because he gets anxious or something. So I don't know if that's like...
Well, he's gonna be on SNL in January, so I'm gonna be watching closely to see if they...
I don't know if he's even gonna address anything Star Wars related.
He doesn't have to. He did his job. He did what he had to do. Did he agree with it? I don't know. Like, that's honestly what I want to know. What did everybody agree or like disagree with when they read that script? I know it's their job and they have to act it out, but like, I would really like to know, did Daisy agree with the ending? Did Adam agree with the ending?
But I feel like they'll never like say, at least not right now, because that would jeopardize
the movie.
Like, people, if they hear that Daisy like didn't agree with it, they might say like, I don't want to see the movie then. Yeah. So I feel like that's something that would come up like later on in life. She'd write a book when she's like older and be like, I didn't agree with JJ, like whatever her opinions are. But this was the weakest trilogy of the three. Yeah, and I know you loved it because of Kylo's character, but like, in terms of storytelling, I feel like the prequels are superior to the sequel trilogy, in my opinion.
And there you have it.
Those are our thoughts.
Those are our thoughts about The Rise of Skywalker. I guess you guys can let us know what you thought about it. If you are a REYLO person, did you like agree with what happened at the end? Did you like that they kissed? Did you, I mean, I know you're not gonna like that they killed Kylo if you're a REYLO, but like, what did you agree with what happened basically between them in the movie as well, not just in the ending? And then also the other aspects, did you agree with, you know, her being a granddaughter of Palpatine?
But isn't it weird, like, how freaking Palpatine has been, like,
alive?
Alive this whole movie, but he's been basically, like, the evil guy in every trilogy. Like, he has survived prequels, originals, and the sequel. Like, it's always him. Like, are we stupid enough to not realize that it's always gonna be him? Like, every trilogy, it's like, it always goes back to Palpatine. He's probably not even dead.
He's probably not even dead.
He's definitely not even dead. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's, like, the rise of Palpatine. Like,
I also would like to know the woman who decided to procreate with this man.
I know, but it could have been, like, non-consensual.
Oh, shit.
I know, like, we didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that. Okay.
Which opens up a whole other can of worms. But we were like, who would ever be in a relationship with Palpatine? But
oh my god, I didn't even think of that. That makes me so sad. Okay, wait, last thing I'm gonna talk about and then we're done with this, I promise. Again, I saw this on a post or something. I don't agree with it. I think this is like us being a little too much now. But someone said when he was healing Rey, he put his hand on her stomach. And they were like, maybe he put his life into her and they like are gonna procreate something. I was like, no. Right?
This is like the thigh grab. Like, this is the next thigh grab.
Oh my.
Her hand on the stomach, he grabbed her thigh, like.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. But I think it's interesting. No, I think it's interesting what people like look at when they're watching the movie.
It's like they will find anything to just like create a story out of, which I guess is creative.
To cope with my grief and with what happened, I have been reading stories that have fixed what happened in the movie, and I'm happy with that, so.
Oh wait, the last thing was we were talking about the Jedi and like how they're all in her, but then like they didn't show them. Like,
yeah. We're like all over the place in this video,
but
really
yeah, right. It's just so many things that happened. Like, why didn't Obi-Wan appear? Yeah. Like they said they did his voice, and they did like all of the other voices as well, but like they should have all had the Force ghosts.
That would have been, I feel like that would have been such a powerful shot if everyone was a Force ghost behind her and saying all those words to her. Like, that would have been amazing. We don't know what happens during filming. Maybe they couldn't get everybody, so.
Ewan McGregor would have played all the parts.
Yeah.
Like, he would have been like, I'll be Yoda, I'll be Obi-Wan. We were saying, like, he was probably there while they were filming.
Yeah, literally, like,
good job, guys.
Good job, Adam, Daisy. That's it. Okay, we're done, I promise. So yeah,
like a 40-minute video.
Like, I don't care. They wanted to hear our thoughts about this, so you guys can hear it. Again, let us know what you guys thought about The Rise of Skywalker, and thank you so much for watching, and wherever you are in this world, we hope you're having a magical day. Bye!